Hello friends, a great welcome to my channel. In previous video we have covered the plot, the story of Huckleberry Finn, and today we will understand how humor has been used by the author. Mark Twain, the author of Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, used satire in order to criticize and unmask certain topics, more specifically American society and religion that was prevailing there. Let us unmask all these topics here in this video. Three types of humor has been used: satire, parody and burlesque. We will take each individually with the help of examples and will understand the terms as well. Satire is something when you say a thing very normally, but in those normal dialogues, normal conversations, you are trying to, reveal something evil in the society. Throughout the novel, Mark Twain uses Huck, the central character, to satirize the religious hypocrisy specifically of American society, white society stereotypes and superstitions, both to amuse the readers and to make the readers aware of the social evils present at that point of time in America. See how religion is satirized. Religion is satirized in Huckleberry Finn by showing characters saying one thing and doing another. For example, Granger Fords go to church to pray and yet go carrying guns in case they meet a shepherdson and need to kill him. And that church used to preach peace. They used to go to a church to attain peace and used to go to church with guns. How paradoxical that was. One more example of satire in Huckleberry Finn would be the feud, the enmity between Grangerfords and Shepherdsons. None of them know how the feud, how the enmity started, and they have no personal stake in it, but they have been fighting since ages, so that is the only reason they are still fighting. The novel again, I'll say, is a satire on society by commenting on elements present during Twain's time. He discusses how some people can be Christians and yet support slavery. Slavery. Every normal person knows that slavery is an evil, is a crime almost. You are making someone your slave, someone who is also the creature created by God. How can one other person who is created by God can be your slave only because of the color? But still, these people do believe in God, God's equality as well as slavery. This itself is satiric. Look at this line from our central character Huck, who is the protagonist, the central character, the narrator. He says in the end when he is about to save Jim from Phelps, he says, "All right, then I'll go to hell." That means that he has been programmed since the birth that whomsoever saves slaves or whomsoever has a friendship with slaves, that person will go to hell. But in the end, he tries to be logical, think logical. He decides that going to hell, if it means following his gut and not society's hypocritical and cruel principles, is actually right. This is a better option than going to everyone else's heaven. This line is a satire on the society. Now we will go to parody, or we can say that there are many allusions as well, references of other texts or other historical concepts. How other historical concepts have been used here in a humoristic style. One of the first allusions that Twain includes in Huckleberry Finn is another book of himself. He wrote, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Huck, as the narrator, references the book in the opening sentences of Huckleberry Finn. You don't know about me without you have read a book by the name of Adventures of Tom Sawyer, but that does not matter. So he says to all the readers that first you need to read Tom Sawyer and then you are going to understand me. This is kind of an allusion to the adventures of Tom Sawyer. In Huck Finn, the King, Duke and King, याद होंगे आपको, a creative version of Hamlet's soliloquy is performed by them. Original text was this one. Hamlet soliloquy in Act 3, Scene 1 of Hamlet, very popular. I do not need to describe Hamlet here. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune or to take arms against a sea of troubles. See how the lines are uh, recreated by K. To be or not to be, that is the bare bodkin. That makes committee of so long life. For who would Fardels bear till Burnham would do come to Dunsinane? If you are aware with Hamlet, if you are aware with Macbeth, if you are aware with Shakespeare, you will understand that the lines are mismatched and everything has been mixed here. Few lines from Hamlet, few lines from Macbeth are here, and that is what will make anyone laugh who is completely aware with Shakespeare as well. Next thing is burlesque. Let us understand first what is burlesque. Burlesque is when you convert a very small time, meager kind of event into a grand one. Grand things are what? The wars of Mahabharata, the wars of Iliad. But let us take an example. In Rape of the Lock, there is a great war between two people only because one has cut a lock of hair from another's. So very small time, naughty kind of event it was, but it was converted into such a grand thing. Such a great importance was given to all the petty issues of life. That is what we call to be burlesque. After realizing in chapter 31 that Jim has been sold to a man named Silas Phelps, Huck acknowledges that he loves Jim for his goodness and decides to go against social mores and rescues him. All right, then I'll go to hell and steal Jim out of slavery. This line we have already discussed. And throughout the novel, Twain uses Huck to satirize the religious hypocrisy, white society stereotypes, and superstitions, both to I already said to please the readers and to make the readers aware of the all the social evils that were present in society that point of time. और यहाँ पर हमारा burlesque आता है because to save Jim was easy actually. He was not at all locked in a Z security but locked very normally and that door of his cell just could be opened and he could be freed. But this was not the intention of Tom to do an easy task. No, not my cup of tea. Tom discovers that Jim is being held in a small farm cabin and the two boys discuss plans to free Jim from captivity and Huck's logical plan is to steal the keys from Uncle Silas and quickly unlock Jim. It could take 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, not more than that and immediately leave on the raft. Easy plan? Tom argues that the plan is too simple and very mild. After they examine the cabin where Jim is being held, Huck suggests that they tear off one board for Jim to escape, and Tom again argues that the plan is not complicated enough, मजा नहीं आ रहा है, and then decides that they should dig Jim out because doing so will take a couple of weeks. When a slave brings in food for Jim, the boys go along and whispers to Jim that they are going to set him free so that the slave could hear it and there could be some complication, right? Tom and Huck begin making plans for an elaborate grand escape and each step becomes more and more complicated, more and more time consuming. Tom argues that Jim will need a rope ladder and other items such as knives and a journal or some secret messages because the escape must be done just like the prison novels, the adventure novels that Tom has been reading. So in exam, if you get any question related to humor used in Huckleberry Finn, use all these headings and keep writing the definition and all the examples that are discussed in this video. So both of these stories are masterpieces and convey their viewpoint from different writing styles. This is something you can write as a conclusion in your answer. Thanks for watching. Best of luck for exams and please do not forget to share and subscribe the channel.